Welcome to the Baptist Health IcePlex, the practice facility for the reigning two-time Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, where tonight these old rivals from their conference in College Hockey South play game number 2 to finish out this series. It's the Florida Atlantic Owls and the Florida Gators. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We are for the second game. We played Friday night, these two teams, where Florida was shut out 6-0 on a 42-save performance from Rocco Bruno, who will be in net tonight as well for this FAU group after he got a night off yesterday. And FAU won 6-2 against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, also an M2 team yesterday. So they are 2-0 on the season with a prominent scoring group, the likes of Brady Baser and Jake Murphy, who both have 4 goals in this series. Baser, number 88 in white, had himself one heck of a game, 2 goals and 1 assist, also on a Jake Murphy goal. And this top group for FAU has been their best spot, but for Florida, they have been searching for a group to find. They were, of course, shut out with Connor Lee in net, where he faced 27 shots, and in that game, Florida had 6 power play opportunities foiled on each and every single one of them. They went 0 for 6, while the Owls went 2 for 5. So a big story of this game is going to be, can this Florida forecheck find some life and take advantage of the special teams? Frank Pasquale is the head coach for that group, along with Frank Cervasio, the alternate coach, and Michael Paramuta. FAU and Christian Long ready to get set for you, and we'll talk about briefly our games around the country. Tampa took on South Carolina yesterday. They got routed in game number 2, finishing with a split. They had a great win, 7-2 on opening night for their banner-raising ceremony. If you fans are wondering, Tampa was the AAU Division I national champion last year, while this FAU group took home the Men's 2 trophy. So Tampa getting off to a 1-1 start against a really talented South Carolina group that some fans might also remember won the AAU Division I National Championship. In fact, the inaugural Division I championship for that league. Looking at these two teams a little bit closer tonight, some players you might want to be on the lookout for. First on the Florida side, Jack Fortesk out of West Neck, New York, brings together a veteran experienced blue line, but he is a freshman. His brother Drew is a junior defenseman at Boston College and a 3rd-round draft pick in 2023 by the New York Rangers, and has a touted family, the Fortesk family is, in hockey, and he's a AAA product. That blue line did a good job in the early part of the game on Friday as we were at stalemate in the first period. Now the team scored, and then, of course, FAU scored 3 each in the second and third. Also, somebody you're going to want to keep your eye out for who had a really interesting game was Brian Pine. He was all over the ice, foiled a couple of times by Rocco Bruno, the Parkland, Florida freshman. Had 61 goals with North Broward Prep High School last year, and he was the leading goal scorer on the AAA team, very common to some fans here in the South Florida area, Florida Alliance, with 23 goals and 21 assists through 27 games in last year's campaign. So there's your players to watch on the Florida side. Florida Atlantic, of course, Brady Baser along with Jake Murphy have been the story, but a sneaky guy that's making his presence known just slowly, Christian Cuccia. He wears number 27 in this game. The Flemington, New Jersey native was the 2024 Men's Division III Player of the Year. He has been terrific, and still looking for his first goal of the season. And behind a veteran experienced group with some quality talent coming up the wing. We're just about ready for puck drop. We are going to bring out a red carpet at center ice. Not sure to the broadcast crew exactly what the ceremony would be tonight, but it is a rare opportunity for these two teams to play at a high quality facility that is Baptist Health IcePlex. And I have not been able to see the Stanley Cup in the building yet, but the Florida Panthers, as I know, to my knowledge, are on the road on a preseason game against Nashville. So as we wait, some keys for tonight on the Florida Atlantic side, starting with their special teams. Very solid the other night. They held these Gators to 0 for 6, a very talented penalty kill group. Emilio Stabile did a great job. Tommy Ziemba all over the ice on that kill. As you hear the PA announcer starting the announcing lineups, we'll get to our keys to the game following his announcements.
Please turn your attention to the ice for tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Florida Gators. On defense, number 24, Jack Fortescue. On defense, number 27, Noah Horowitz. At left wing, number 74, Evan Edwards. At center, number 13, Brian Pine. At right wing, number 12, Nicholas Ho. The goaltender is number 1, Zach Shield. And now, make some noise for the starting lineup for your FNU Owl. On the bench, number 2, Finn Moore. Also on the bench, number 40, Nick Oliverio. David Ross. At center, number 6, Jason Seazel. At right wing, it's the captain, number 26, Lee Miller. And in goal tonight, number 1, Rocco. Fans, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Starting netminders for both sides. First, the visiting Florida Gators. They will turn to Zach Shield tonight. The freshman out of Parkland, Florida product of the Florida Alliance AAA program, stands at 6'3", 209. This is his second start, to our knowledge, of the year. FAU goes back to Rocco Bruno, the reigning two-time goaltender of the year in College Hockey South. His fourth career shutout he earned against Florida on Friday night with a 42-save performance. That last night, Gunnar Stevens did a good job against Georgia Tech and got the win there. So Rocco Bruno, their ace, back in net. And these starting lines look like the second group with Leon Biller heading the man in the wings, along with digging in at center, Jason Seafelt. They'll also get a freshman in there, and Finn Moore with Sam Watson. And at the blue line, Nick Oliverio. So from right to left on your TV screen and potentially your radio dial, FAU will go in the red and the navy pants, as well as the Gators from left to right in those all-black uniforms. And here we go, underway at Baptist Health IcePlex. FAU with the first touch in the offensive zone, looking for a good start. They had a stalemate against Florida and for a while Georgia Tech last night, who led by 2 goals early over the Owl group. Turned over at the line, Nicholas Ho out there on a first shot towards the net, deflected wide by Nick Oliverio. In there to play it along for the Gators, Evan Edwards, the starter on the wing tonight for them. Captain Leon Biller over the offensive zone. First changes of the game for FAU. Anthony Campagne back checks. He's back in the lineup yesterday. He had Shea Keating in, the freshman forward yesterday. So Campagne, a defenseman, gets involved in the play, forwards the puck back in the offensive zone. Calabrese sidesteps him, and after it, Cormac Terry, number 35 in black. Brady Baser, 4 goals on the weekend, had a 2-goal and assist performance in their 6-2 win over the Yellow Jackets. Here's the Gators with Calabrese. Back into the play, Justin Lopes towards the net, and that one's into the glove. Check that. Ronan Keenan. That's the third time I've done that this weekend, folks. A new play, Ronan Keenan wearing 93. Still temporary jerseys for this FAU group, so if you're seeing some names and numbers you recognize, they're not all exactly who they seem to be. That's Ronan Keenan, the sophomore transfer from UNLV. Here's a shot high top of the goal by Brady Baser. Banks off the stanchion glass and in possession of Mike Calabrese. Freshman out of Wantagh, New York. Will direct it back to his defenseman in Cormac Terry. Sidesteps a check, and the puck's moved all the way to the opposite end of the ice, where a racing Declan Catone catches up to it. He gets separation into play him against Michael Katz. The opposite wing, Brady Baser picks it up, and he will backtrack for just a moment. Catone searches up ice, connects for a moment with Keenan, just a tip above the red line, in front of the red line, so they can go off for fresh changes. Emilio Stabile had a very active game as well yesterday. Turned it over. Calabrese races up ice alone for now. In there, Tommy Ziemba. Great penalty killer for this FAU group. Part of the reason they kept Florida 0 for 6 on the man advantage on Friday. Daniel Tove into the offensive zone. Behind, trying to wrap it around, and Shield got it once and twice for his first stoppage of the game. 17:36 left. Devin Serra riding with you solo tonight from the Panthers practice facility. Florida Atlantic will play, I believe, one more game here for now this regular season, pending changes, as they call Boca Ice Center now their new official home for their inaugural, return year to ACHA Men's Division II. This one's flipped out of the stick of a Florida player. Look out, they have numbers the other way. Nice feed in front, and Bruno gets smashed into as the shot came in front. That was Noah Horowitz getting barreled into, or rather Owen Wayvada, number 22 in black. So Rocco no worse for wear. The shot went wide anyway, and the nut came off. We will start a draw in the FAUN because of that. Rocco Bruno, very, very touted. Of course, FAU fans know. Springfield, Pennsylvania native. His 4th career shutout was a beauty, although Florida had most of their quality chances in the first and third period. They did not perform as well in the second as they conceded 3 goals Two of those on the power play. Here's FAU trying to defend into their own zone. And at point blank, Rocco first, second try. Sidesteps that one. Gators trying to get off to an early start, and they are foiled by the junior netminder, Liam Likishwa. Back in a race for it. Tove smashes his man to the boards. Actually, that's Zelmansky in there. Now Florida all the way back into their own zone, trying to dig this out. FAU comes free with it, off the boards, banked, and once time missed the net, came off of a Florida sweater. They'll fight for it in that far corner. Georgiano can't get it free, a newcomer from the M3 team last year. Here's Likishwa, number 58 in black, trying to get past one defender, can't stay on side. Christian Cuccia tags up Georgiano. They've got a 3-on-2 if they can get to the front. Cuccia wants it. It comes there to the forehand, trying to get to it. Aaron Lentz never got the shot off. Oliverio puts one towards the net. It's sidestepped by Shield. He wants a grab, and he'll get it. So already Shield having to keep his posts honest, close the gap on his lower pads. Aaron Lentz digs in for FAU. Back at the point, Oliverio shot to the net, blocked by his own man, Georgiano. Florida gains a zone exit, but they flip it into the Florida bench, where head coach Frank Pasquale sits in his third season with his assistant coaches Frank Cervasio and Michael Paramucha. All of these guys joined the program in that 23-24 campaign and parlayed a national championship in their inaugural year as a coaching trio. In men's Division II, they upset this FAU group in the national final. In a race for it, Rocco has none of that as Nicholas Ho pushes it along with Finn Moore towards Rocco. This is the third and final game of the weekend for FAU. The men's 3 team took on South Florida last night en route to a 9-1 loss and a 6-1 loss against the Georgia Tech team on Friday night. Jason Seafelt gets out of the zone. Sam Watson plays it at the neutral zone. He gets into the attack, has numbers coming. Former M3 captain Campagne takes a look towards the net. It gets knocked down in front by the defenseman Jack Fortesk. One of our impact players to watch. Freshman from Westniak, New York. A very highly touted defenseman. Leon Biller drop pass for Watson, some quick feeds. They wanted to connect with Seafelt on the far wing, and it went through a couple of bodies. Florida Gators get it back. Jack Fortesk alone over the line will just dump it in. Catone stands him up. Biller gets it there. Has help on the near wings. Campagne absorbs a check. Mahan puts it towards the goal, and Declan Catone was there to scoop it. Campagne now pressed again. Florida trying to cause some confusion and turnovers in the FAU end, and now they've got some open space to get out. Sam Watson will, as his team is changing. Baser stays out there. Watson will now head to the bench, and Florida regains possession. Mahan sends it in. Baser, nice pass, feeds Murphy. He's got speed. Lopes, Ronan Keenan stays on side. Number 93 wanted to feed Baser. It's up at the point. Oliverio leaves it for Baser. He'll take another look. They want to go towards the net. Shield made a stop with a low pad. Murphy and the Owls still have the forecheck on. They sail one by the goal. Ronan Keenan is there. He'll chase it to this half-board, and it squeaks out over the Florida Panthers logo. Look out, turnover, and a good job to come back and regain possession there by Sean Vasiliev. Almost gave up a fast break. Florida understands the sense of urgency in this first period. They had made the game the closest it had been in the first when they outshot the Owls 10-7. An opportunity for Michael Katz. Nice feed in front. Rocco made the stop to the applause of the FAU crowd. Legs in the air. Prime Rocco Bruno stop to keep this one at a stalemate. And he gets some love going to the bench. As Ziemba goes off, replaced with a new unit. And Florida, that was a beautiful job by Michael Katz to create that play down low. And short opportunity for Florida, once again foiled by the now veteran netminder. Here's Finn Moore. Gave it up to Wavada. He'll look for Michael McCoy down there, just too far away. Moore chases it, along with Pepe. And a smart play. Oliveira tried to bank it off the glass. Florida did a good job keeping the line with Zelmansky. They have it back, the Gators. Look to the net. McCoy has it. Back up to Wavada. He wants an opportunity for a redirected shot. Katz put one off his twig and towards the goalkeeper. And shots officially now 5-3 Florida as we near the halfway mark of this first period. I hope you enjoy our multicam, our producer Mitch Liswith and a couple of new staff members. Owl TV does a great job all year long covering club sports around Florida Atlantic. And these guys are also involved in some NCAA production. Brendan Pine back in, low pad stop by Rocco. Pine, one of the impact players to watch in this game. Oliveira tries to separate him. It comes free to Zelmansky, who holds it on side. Wavada tried to balance and scoop the puck out of the air and went over his head, so they have to retreat back. Georgiano keeps him honest, has help coming with Cuccia, former M3 guy there as well. Lance has a wide open cage. Shield stands him up and makes that gap look a lot smaller, and we've got some more shoving in front of the black sweater netminder. Boy, that looked very dangerous, and there's an FAU player down that got cross-checked in the back. That's Christian Cuccia, number 27. I can't see who the Florida player was that shoved him down. Let's see if they call any coincidentals here. Looks like they're going to let everybody skate away for now. And the Gators just trying to protect their netminder there, and might have called that a wide open cage, but Zach Shield is anything but. He is a big body, 6'3". On my roster, stands at 209 pounds. Just a little bit bigger than that other goalie over there, standing at 5'9". There's Catone with a shot. That one redirected by Wentz wide. Florida turns it over, and Shield received one from Cuccia, and that one missed the blue paint. Behind the goal, they dig after it. 2 black sweaters to 3 FAU guys. Aaron Lentz. Cuccia wants it free. He gets it free. Rather, Georgiano to Campagne with a lane to shoot. And that one was blocker stopped by Zach Shields. Owls making things honest. So they get a new line change as well. Ho will gain the red line and also go off. 11:20 to go in this first period. Starting the breakout. Watson. Looks a shot on net, sailed it high. Fortes defended him well. Leon Biller sandwiched to the boards. Fortes is there to reclaim it. Wants Maisie. Denny had it stolen. Gators come in with numbers. Good job by Seafelt to get in that passing lane. Frees it up. Watson can't get to the free puck at the Gators blue line. They'll stretch the puck towards the end boards. Maisie wraps the end boards. Calabrese is there. Leaves it for Denny. Wants a shot towards the net. That, I believe, blocked by Vasiliev. Some back and forth action here early as these two teams picking up where they left off. This is a lot how it looked on Friday night in the first, with neither team scoring, and we're still yet to have a penalty as well. We'll see if the announcer jink is in effect for that. Vasiliev leaves it for Brady Baser. 4 goals this weekend. He can fly. Stops button hooking behind his own goal. McCoy is there to defend. Ziemba playing tag with Vasiliev and intercepted by Michael Katz. Katz tries to lift the stick of Vasiliev. Baser pushes the opposite man. And now Ronan Keenan, the transfer from UNLV, will leave it for Ziemba. Into the offensive zone. Calabrese, good shoulder check to separate him. A collision on the far side. Oliverio got it for Keenan. Wanted a shot. Softly bounced wide. The Owls trying to get the puck to the net, and a few times Florida's done a good job blocking the shots in front of the goal, not allowing them in the middle. Look out, an opportunity for Finn Moore. His second he was trying to go on the weekend, and Zach Shield made the stop. And that one sailed in the netting by Ronan Keenan. Finn Moore, listed on my roster, defenseman out of Aurora, Colorado, scored his first goal in the third period against Florida the other night. At that point, it was 4-0. He also had his first with David Ross, and a guy that played a lot of time at Chaparral High School, product of the Des Moines Bucks in AAA. Some great new additions to this FAU group. They have looked par for the course. Nobody out of place on this team, considering they lost a lot of top scorers last year. Christian Cotter comes to mind, David Israel, Keith Goldberg. Wayvada put a shot towards the net. It was knocked down by Tove. They'll chase in. Here comes a nice feed for trying to reverse field was Blaze Pepe, and no one could pick it up in the high slot. Florida has a man on the far wing alone. Just one man to beat in Catone before the defense gets back. Brendan Pine as Florida makes some more line changes. Campagne now for Stabile. Into the zone, Tove goes. He's a big body, stands up Horowitz, boxes him out, and allowing for a shot. Turnaround try, and that one skitters near the low slot. That was Stabile. Once more, it's loose in the near crease area. Fortesk has it, and Florida starts their own breakout. 3-on-2. Shot in the middle, posting up, getting back defensively. Campagne, and FAU doesn't allow them to get it to Bruno. Georgiano can't force it out of the zone. Noah Horowitz keeps the play going. Campagne against Weinstein. Weinstein gets the better of it, up to the point for Horowitz, who can't hold the blue line and has to retreat out to center ice. Ziemba for Vasiliev. They try to get it out. Florida's trying to cause all kinds of havoc. They forced a couple of nice turnovers in the offensive zone, leading to shot opportunities. They have 5 so far in this first. 7:06 to go in this beginning frame. Liam Denny has it. Vasiliev wants a stick check and will push him in the corner. Weinstein comes in to help, digs it out, gets it free for Tesk, waiting for it under his legs. Wants a shot towards the net. He score! Redirected in front. And the Gators open things with 6:47 to go in the first. That was Liam Denny leading the line. I thought it might have been tipped by Weinstein, but that is exactly the start this Florida team needed after they were foiled beginning in the first on Friday, but then the rest of the contest. And once again, FAU for the second straight game finds themselves down a goal to start things off. Owls, no time to waste. They want an answer quickly. They do this so well when one team scores. So we listen to the PA announcement. They're going to say Liam Denny, credited with that one for number 36 on Florida. I'm sorry, number 18. Regardless, here's Mahan at the point. Blue line, opposite wing. I'll get those clarified at the break if I am at all wrong. I believe Weinstein might have tipped it in front, but regardless, Florida back in the offensive zone, and FAU off the bank. Leon Biller will dump it, and the first icing of the game is called against FAU. And if it is, in fact, Denny credited, freshman out of Columbus, Ohio, spent time with Thomas Worthington High School. Very impressive, 21 points a couple of years ago. This Florida group has a good amount of talent that have a lot of high school experience and a spread amount of experience in AAA travel, the USPHL. They have some touted prospects from the Florida Alliance AAA program specifically. Noah Horowitz, Keegan Lampinen, number 34. FAU is back on the attack in the far corner. Campagna has it, wants a shot towards the net, and Shield stick that aside. Catone from the Panthers logo. As they might be able to see on your screen, have our video feed on the big board here at Baptist Health IcePlex. Nice touch by all the staff here as behind the play, FAU needs a change, or Florida needs a change. They've got a lone man into the attacking zone in Evan Edwards. Edwards stops, looks for his options. Pine put one on the goal, and Rocco might have tipped it wide. A race for it. Brady Baser, he's got Keenan in the middle, tried to dangle around a defender, and a good job posting up, not allowing him inside, was Zelmansky. FAU has the speed. This is their top line. And these are the guys that scored the most goals. Here's Stabile on. Nice move! And Shield with a good stop with the left pad. Dangle City for FAU. Stabile, the junior out of Quebec, Canada, trying to make some noise. 4:15 to go in this first period. Florida up 1-0 from, we believe, this man that is touching it offside, Liam Denny. And the line that scored the most recent goal is back out there. The likes of Weinstein, Denny, and Ronnie Kemley. And what's kind of impressive, too, about this Florida group is that in their own zone, they haven't really allowed too many high-quality scoring chances on Zach Shield. They've been really doing a good job on the wall, winning some of those puck battles, digging the puck free, and forcing FAU to cough it up. There has been a number of instances we can recall on Friday where they allowed some fast breaks, and some of those goals that FAU scored were most notably the Baser to start things off on a fast break, and then a 2-on-1 that led to David Ross's first goal as an Owl. That one went under the legs of David Tove all the way into the offensive zone. They'll say that wasn't icing, as in this near corner they fight for it. Stabile gets possession, put one in front, tried to feed Blaze Pepe and couldn't do so. Back on the attack, Cats. Stolen away, Daniel Tove. Flips it out of the zone, can't do it though. Kept by Florida Sweater, shot, blocker saved by Bruno. Ziemba presses his man. Tove wanted Pepe. One more shot towards the goal. That gets knocked down and well wide. Ziemba gets around one defender. A tired Florida group still out there as FAU got a line change on. Christian Cuccia comes in, finishes his man, and Georgiano is here. Can those former M3 players connect? I nearly do. Beautiful flip. Cuccia just couldn't handle a bouncing puck. He would have had a break to the goal all alone. M3 player of the year last year in College Hockey South. Cross ice feed. Horowitz wanted to dump it in successfully, and a shot from McCoy gets knocked up into the air and out of play. 2:26 left in the first. Florida out shooting FAU 9-6. Full transparency, it's nice that we can see what the shot totals are in live time. And shout out to our BA announcer, Andrew Ember, who you might recognize from the Florida Panthers organization. He's been doing it a long time, and an FAU alum himself. Great crowd on hand as well from both sides. It's about 60-40 FAU fans, but these Florida people travel well. 4 hours they came from Gainesville. Georgiano, Calabrese go sliding into the boards. On the far wing, Tove, or rather Oliverio, decks a man to the ice. Good job defensively there by Finn Moore. Squirts to the near blue line. Florida fans want a hold. They're not going to get one. Trying to feed it for a one-timer there was James Mazey. Mazey loses his footing, and this could be the first call of this one. And a stoppage of play. Official goes, and it is going to be, instead of a trip, a roughing on Nick Oliverio. So first infraction of this one with 1:53 to go in the first. Oliverio will sit, and here we go with this Florida group that was stymied on every power play chance they got, and they had a couple of looks early in Friday's contest. FAU kept them 0 for 2 in the first period. Fortesk on the man advantage, goes D to D. Horowitz directs this to the far wing. They want to set up somebody in the middle. Florida with Horowitz on a shot, and that one rang off the outside of the goal from Fortesk. An opportunity for number 24 in black, gets it back. 1:32 in the power play. About 7 seconds separating game clock and penalty clock. Up to the point again, Horowitz takes a look, gets it deeper. They want to feed it in front, back to him, and Horowitz couldn't handle the return, and it's cleared out of the zone by Catone. Second penalty kill group going out there for FAU. Some minor changes. Likashwa comes off, replaced by Evan Edwards for Florida. They get onside with Michael Katz. Stabile and the Owl will steal it away, shorthanded. They might have a break if they hurry. Pepe is there, and they can't get it free with Murphy. Horowitz, 3 bodies in black sweaters to the near boards. Katz has it now. Michael Katz skates for Fortesk. Wants to take a shot. Knocked down by Stabile. Murphy dangling, and a great clear by Pepe right away. Not allow Florida to set up at all. 26 seconds to go in the period, which means if this stands, there will be 7 seconds left at the end of it. Here's one last surge for Florida. Mike Calabrese over the line. Stops. Get it in the middle. Brendan Pine gets it deeper. Calabrese looks. 5 to go in the period. Pine, they need one more shot. 2 seconds in front. Blocker stop. A second opportunity never comes. And Rocco Bruno takes us to the break. They keep this one at just a single goal from Florida as the late stages of the first end. They will have 7 seconds of power play time for Florida when we resume. Close out this 3-game weekend for your M2 Owls. Heading to the break, shots 10-6 in favor of Florida, and they lead 1-0 here on Owl TV. With you for the start of the second period from Baptist Health IcePlex in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Devin Serra with you, riding solo today as Florida gets out to a 1-0 lead from a tip shot on goal by Ronnie Kemley. Initially, I thought it might have been thrown in and tipped, but Liam Denny gets the assist and Jack Fortesk. And ultimately, Kemley, good job in the middle of the ice, low slot to tip it past goaltender Rocco Bruno, who's been tested a lot. Good quality chances for Florida getting out of the gate in this game. They lead the shot category 10-6, and they start the period with 7 seconds to go in the power play for a Nick Oliverio roughing call in the near final minute of the frame. And if you're just tuning in with us, this one is the final game of this weekend's series. FAU won 6-0 on Friday night with a 42-save shutout, the fourth of his collegiate career for Rocco Bruno. And in that game, Brady Baser and Jake Murphy each added a goal. Baser has on back-to-back nights, Friday and Saturday, against Georgia Tech, 2 goals and 1 assist to his name. That top line has been phenomenal and a great showing to see for Owl fans that might have been concerned about the replacement of production this year for Christian Long's group. But a very important period coming up here. Florida on Friday, lost the game in the second period when they allowed Florida Atlantic to score a power play goal. And from there, the floodgates open with David Ross scoring his first goal and 2 goals from Brady Baser. So here we go, underway. Power play is over. On 5-on-5 we go. Noah Horowitz and the black sweaters. Florida goes from right to left with the blue buckets and blue pants. FAU left to right in those red buckets with the white uniforms and white socks. This one's taken onside by Florida's Evan Edwards. Banked it off the boards. Backhand in front, and setting up for it was Brendan Pine. And Rocco got another shot attempt, that one from Edwards, and made the low pad stop. Far corner. Turning around, Gators set up their forecheck and turned over in the low slot by Pepe, and Pepe gets a high stick. FAU fans want a call, and none is coming. Fortesk gets him in the face mask with a high stick that's not called. First minute gone in the second. Crunch to the boards. Oliverio wants to free it up, and he will with Baser. Streaking forward, Horowitz stopped his momentum and turned it over, and that leads to a fast break. Noah Horowitz to the net. Rocco made the stop. Great save by Rocco Bruno as the puck flutters to the near half boards. Florida still has it on, and Horowitz sends one in, and Bruno will get some more applause. Talk about a golden opportunity. Florida was very aggressive trying to get their forwards deep in the neutral zone and set up an odd man rush, and that led to a Noah Horowitz turnover, and he rushed in on the junior netminder. We said it earlier, he's been tested quite often in this early stages of Game 2 between these teams, and he has come up big. Leon Biller has it, the captain from Sweden, puts one towards Shield, and a shot came from Watson, and then wanted to put one in front where it was stolen away by the only goal scorer, Ronnie Kemley. Watson has it back. Watson, as a skittering puck goes off a skate blade, Biller picks it up in the far corner, gets it to his defenseman in Catone, takes a shot on net, and that one caught a piece of the shoulder from Shield. Ronan Keenan on the net. Good stop again by Shield, and it's out of the zone. Mahan and this Florida group, 10-12 last year, made nationals and upset a Tennessee team before falling to Buffalo and Quinnipiac. They were playing in Division I, what was going to be an inaugural season, as this is iced by FAU's forward. And the Gators, in what was AAU Division I, had to switch over because of the ultimate switch from College Hockey South. They are now one of 3 M2 programs in the conference. Themselves, Florida Atlantic, and Tampa, who went 1-1 against M2 South Carolina yesterday. So Mansky, soft shot on Rocco, and he just will glove it down and reset the face-off again. But Florida was a team that lost some players in that previous offseason. Last year, they struggled against teams that were a little more structured and organized, like South Carolina, like Tampa, like Tennessee, and ultimately went through some growing pains with that. But now they have rejuvenated this program with some veteran leadership. Guys like Zelmansky and Nicholas Ho, who are seniors for this group, and they've got some talented juniors to go with it, the likes of Noah Horowitz and their goaltender Connor Lee. And using their two goaltenders, Zach Shield, who gets the start tonight, he's looked pretty solid. Florida in the attacking zone. Calabrese wanted to get it, and look out. We've got a race for the puck on the far side. Who gets there? Stabile in front, and Shield, low pad stop. Made it. Another opportunity thrown in front. Vasiliev put one on goal. Chaos in front of the Shield before it's finally brought to the near half boards. Shield was down and out for a moment. They fed it in front for an owl sweater. Nobody picked it up, and that could have easily been a tie hockey game on that opportunity. Michael McCoy shields the puck. They leave it behind the goal. Horowitz moving in. He scores! A beautiful one-timer over the shoulder of Rocco Bruno, and Florida has a 2-0 lead. The junior from Plantation, Florida, just 4 miles west of here, was a national champion with this Florida group that we talked about. And the alternate captain has given the Gators a stretched lead. And they outshoot FAU 16-7. They look like a totally different team than the one we saw previously on Friday, where they could not get out of their own zone and they were having a tough time on high-quality FAU chances. This is a great effort so far. Rocco Bruno with a stick save, and we'll just glove it to force the face-off. But experience being such a big thing for this Florida team. Some solid additions came in, and they are a growing process. People might look at Tampa and FAU to have more talented rosters, quote unquote, but Florida is right there with them as the best, and they have one heck of a following there in Gainesville. Here's FAU trying to get back to the attack. Kuchia and Aaron Lentz in the far corner, turned it over. Great job by Edwards to see that, and he'll skid it out alone over the red line. Dump and chase they go. Edwards wants to pick up his own dump in, leaves it with Horowitz, who's back on the ice. Georgiano fishes it, and Cucciano races for Tesk, stands him up. Lentz and the Owls stay on side. Georgiano shot towards the net, well wide of the left post. Georgiano's there. Aiden will sidestep a check. Horowitz, the most recent scorer, with Edwards on side to the left. Shot on Bruno. Saved with the pads. Flips. Brendan Pine got it back. Nicholas Ho, new group there. Shot towards the net. Deflected off of the stick of Blaise Pepe. 15:04 left in the second. If you're just joining us, late in the first, Ronnie Kemley scored on a tipped shot from Jack Fortesk, and Liam Denny gets the secondary on that. We don't know who's going to be credited secondary yet on Florida's goals. Apologies there. Jake Murphy, Florida, is back in the offensive zone. Liam Denny couldn't ask for a better start for this Gator group that was pretty even there in the first, despite outshooting the Owls. They ribbon around the end boards. Declan Catone, Blaise Pepe, and the Owls are out. Try to connect with Baser. The speedy forward will fake a pass and get to himself, but they were offside as Murphy was trying to set up in the center slot area. And just a quick observation of this. FAU, when they're at their best, they are a good from what we can tell from early in this year and last year, they are a great rush team. They have a skill difference in that a lot of their guys can carry the puck, especially on this top line, and Murphy can separate from this. Baser, a shot on net. Nice blocker stop by Shields. And they typically like to either run and gun and get this going fast and get defensemen out of position, or they set up behind the net. Beautiful feeds. They score. Jake Murphy. Tic-tac-toe. The 5th goal of this weekend for Jake Murphy, and the top group connects. They have answered with 14:03 to go in the second. Some beautiful passes. Baser brought that play in after they had an offside. They get redemption on that play. And when the Owls needed it most, they got it. It's 2-1. With 13:54. Time of the goal unofficially 6:57 of the second period. Here's Katz winding up, and he scores! The winger off the hop. What a job from the neutral zone in. They flip it towards with a number of bodies. I think that play got started from Liam Lickeshwa, who forwarded it, saucered over the blue line, and the first man to race with it was Katz, with nobody on the left side in white sweaters. Florida, a quick answer, and that's something they're taking out of the book of FAU, who's typically a team that quickly answers on opposing goals. 19-9, the shots in favor of the Gators. Ronan Keenan races in. He's a bigger body. That's Selmansky trying to press him. Great battle over there. As they announce the FAU goals. Michael Katz just scored, has 2 men to beat, stops, waits, and took a shot that was knocked down by a white sweater. Leon Biller forwards it ahead, connects with Keenan. Keenan has a lane to the net. Oh, he lost handle with the puck. Zelmansky. As the great Florida Panthers PA announcer Andrew Immer gives us our announcements. Gators feeling it right now. They're trying to stymie FAU again. Pine with a shot, low pad stop. There's another secondary on the net. Scramble in front. And some more grabbing. Ronan Keenan's got a handful of Evan Edwards. And the officials will separate them now. I believe Lickeshwa is going to get a secondary assist, although I just credited Andrew Emmer. Myself, I did not hear the secondary assist announcement. Regardless, people in Gainesville can breathe a sigh of relief. They have been feeling good watching this game, which is totally right now going Florida's way. The Owls, they're such a quick team. They can strike with a talented group. And every time that top line is out there, they have a fuzzy feeling that they can really make some impacts. Everybody else right now is struggling on the depth of FAU, especially with their turnovers right now in their own zone. Nick Oliverio has it behind the goal. Pine pursues him. Seafelt bounced it off his skate blade. Tove got ahead of the puck. It's kicked forward by Edwards and scooped for Brendan Pine. Long shot, blue line chance, never got there. Nicholas Ho turned over. Stabile goes west to east with Tove, and they're going to say with a late whistle they were offside. And it's just those stops of momentum that are costing FAU on their zone entries. They have not been the cleanest tonight in that regard. Feels like they couldn't lose a face-off. Couldn't force an offside. Everything was going their way on Friday, and now it is looking a lot more even. And Florida doing a great job capitalizing on their opportunities. Oliverio. Cuccia picks it. Can't connect with Georgiano. Sent back by Horowitz. The second goal scorer of this one. A beautiful one-timer. It's up for grabs. Pepe. Finn Moore over there. Moore finishes his check. Allows Oliverio to pick it up. He'll bank pass it. Wanted to get out. Gators can't keep it. Loose puck up for grabs all over the ice. Two Owls slam into the bench area for Tesk, with Georgiano in hot pursuit. Owls are making fresh changes, and Cuccia comes in, and it looks like we have a call. I think they're going to get FAU with too many men here. They were making fresh line changes as Cuccia was racing in to grab that puck. Oliverio wants the explanation, the alternate captain, and they're going to send him to the box. So it is going to be another Florida power play coming up. They're 0 for 1 in this game, but too many men catches the Owls. Interesting enough, we've seen too many men penalty in each game this week for FAU, both on the men's 2 and men's 3 side. At least ones we've had at home. 11:13 to go in the second. It's Florida up 3-1. And looking for more. They win the faceoff. Michael McCoy with Horowitz. McCoy shot towards the net. Redirected a couple of times. Gloved out of the air by Katz. And that allows separation for Tesk. Leaves Pepe deeper. One to set up McCoy on the weak side. And it banked off of Bruno's pads. And another sweater all the way back for Zach Shields. Horowitz. Top power play group still out there. Over the right wing. Stops up to the point. Wants McCoy. Waits on it. Horowitz gives it back to him. For Tesk. From McCoy. Cross the ice back to Tesk. Shot. That one blocked in front by Murphy. And a good clear by Stabile. That'll change FAU's unit. Likishwa comes off the ice. On for Brendan Pine. For Tesk, gets slammed down. Good check by the captain, Leon Biller. And now McCoy will go off for Florida. Second power play group on. 42 to go in the man advantage. 9:52 left in this second period. Wayvada waits on Weinstein, who gets over the line now. Has help coming from behind. Calling for it in the middle, and they tried to feed Edwards and had too much smoke on it. Biller defends that far side. Once again, feed it through the legs of Brendan Pine, and that allows the Owls, shorthanded, to carry it over the red line. Unfortunate bounce off the stanchion glass as Thander and Biller go off for changes. 5 seconds left until Oliverio's out of the box. Make that 0 for 2. The Gators on their power plays. He'll race back to the bench, and it's going to be called an icing against Florida. So Owls pick up where they left off. Gators remain without a goal on the man advantage. 0 for 8 this weekend. But they have 3 even strength goals in this game. Ronnie Kemley, a one-timer by Noah Horowitz, and Michael Katz most recently. FAU's Brady Baser and Jake Murphy tagged up for the Owls' only goal early in the second. Top line doing top line things. Oliverio has it. Lost it. Pine for Calabrese. Flips out of the zone, and it looks like we could be headed for another icing as there's a race for it, and it's waved off. Josh Weinstein gets it to Wayvada. He's sandwiched into the boards. Oliverio with Baser try to dig it out. They do. It's Murphy with it now. Official gets in the way of Oliverio. Finds a lane. And here's Blaze Pepe. Has Baser, the speedster. Another flip for Murphy, who's still in the play. Shield came way out to try and grab the puck. Couldn't do it. Pepe separated him. In the offensive zone, it's for Brendan Pine, who has it out now in a race. A man in the middle, he connects with him. Shot saved by Bruno. Nice job connecting there with Josh Weinstein, who was looking for his first. And the Owls ace, who has been beat a couple of times in this game, comes up big. Shots are 23-9 in favor of Florida. They have just simply been the more possessive team. They've been as big as Florida Atlantic, which was a concern for them coming into this series. And their blue line has certainly done a good job getting back, structured defensively. Zach Shield has not been tested too many times in this period, but Florida Atlantic's 3 shots of the period, one of them they scored on. Sam Watson. Fortesk defends him well. Here's Ronan Keenan with a shot. Shields stepped that aside. Biller, glove down by Watson. Back up to the point for Campagna. He takes a look. One more time to the net. Blocked by his own man, Keenan. And Liam Denny wants an out. Can't do it. Kemley now they'll do. Some quick feeds back and forth. Biller back on side. And no, they say he was offside with Ronan Keenan. 7:40 to go in the second. Some nervous FAU fans. This game will be the second of 6 these two teams play this year. The reason for the surplus of scheduling is that these two teams need 16 games to qualify for the regional tournament, as that's the ACHA M2 structure. They have their at-large bids for the regional tournament, and then the top 2 teams, and I believe the format actually changed this year, but how it's usually been is there's 2 at-large bids to nationals, 2 teams qualify out of the regional, and that is a 12 to 14 team field depending on the region. There's an icing by the Gators. We presume both of these teams are going to be out of the Southeast region, which would mean that they would play in the same regional tournament or be eligible for the same tournament. So every single game these two teams play matters because of the strength of schedule, and not only that, the goal differential matters. A 6-0 win by FAU means a lot more than a 3-2 win or even a 3-1 win. But outright, you've got to get those victories when you can, and for both these sides, a split already in favor of FAU if they are able to sweep, but it's crucial for the Gators to get out of the gate early against an M3 opponent. Face-off won by the Owls. Stabile at the blue line. Turnaround towards Seefeld, and that went off his stick. We've got a whistle. And another penalty coming up. Interference on Florida here. It's against Noah Horowitz. He's getting an explanation from the official down there. So the Owls are going to head to their first power play of this game. They were 2 for 5 on Friday against this Florida team. Had 3 power play goals against Georgia Tech yesterday. You could technically say they had 3 power play goals against Florida because the one that Baser scored was good. I apologize. I will correct myself. Michael Katz is in the box, not Noah Horowitz. Horowitz, the alternate captain, getting the explanation. So, Katz will sit for 2 minutes for the interference. And here we go with FAU power play. This is a crucial stage of the game for them. We know how explosive they can be. Baser in number 88. Murphy there is in 2. Just behind the dot and to the right on your screen. And digging in for Florida, Michael McCoy. Quick off the face-off a shot. Blocked down by Lickeshwa, who will send it all the way on Bruno from a bank clear off the boards. Oliveria looks to set up. 12:47, the official time of the penalty. Over the blue line. Gets trapped on that side, but frees it for Ronan Keenan. Back up to the point where Murphy takes a look. Now for the transfer from UNLV. Murphy with a shot. Shield doesn't have it completely, and it gets out to the blue line. Oliverio is there. Baser, who was pouncing on that loose puck. Biller back for Baser. Wrist shot. missed the goal wide. I think it went off Calabrese. Michael McCoy off of Oliverio. And Florida with some breathing room. Got to be careful here. Likishwa and McCoy make life tough. Owls get back the other way. Keenan frees it up for Murphy. He'll switch places, but it comes back out of the zone where Baser is chased by McCoy. Oliverio back in the entry. Poke check, Pine. Keenan wants a shot. Backhand for Baser and set up Murphy just behind him. Baser back in. Tries the dango and he gets stolen away from Mahan. And the Gators, 40 minutes left in the power play. Not allow another shot on Shields. Sam Watson. Catone. Second power play group, a little mixed here. Murphy stays out there with Kuchia. Kuchia, M3 Player of the Year last year, has it. 17 to go in the power play. Back up to Murphy, who mans the blue line. Gets around Pine. Backhands it. Loose in the slot area. Now the crease, and Shields sprawls out. And we'll get the whistle. 7 seconds to go in that Michael Katz interference call. And if you're FAU right now, who's won the last couple of face-offs, you're thinking about separating from defensemen in front, trying to get Shield moving, but it's a nice job by Florida to get it in the FAU bench. Nicholas Ho, however, they're going to send the dots back into the offensive zone because it was Ho for Florida that did it. Here's Tove. Against Brian Pine. Excuse me if I've been saying Brendan. And FAU, nobody home. Catone is there. Out of the box goes Katz, races to the bench. He's replaced by 74 and Edwards. Daniel Tove stood up by Pine. Help behind from Stabile. He gets smushed. Still free, however. Stabile will take a lap with it, turn around. Florida Sweater picks it up. That's Owen Wayvada. They gain the zone. Edwards in front for Bruno. And right on the doorstep, that was Wayvada looking to tip it past. Daniel Tove, the alternate captain, goes in, and Edwards stole it. Good job by Catone to prevent the fast break. Would have been just one man to beat for Nicholas Ho. Wayvada gains the red line and dumps it in. Finn Moore gets checked, loses his stick, got it back from the point. Some miscommunication by Fortesk and Horwitz. Fortesk will go for a twirl. Gets spun around, and Murphy has it to flip it out for Baser, waiting for it at the opposing blue line. Pepe can't help him out. Good job by the alternate captain of Florida to prevent those two from tagging together. Now Baser out of the air. Going to call a whistle. And they're going to say that was icing against FAU there. Wow, that was very close. It was initially in front of the scorer's stand at the red line. As what's nice is we can see the replay here from our vantage point. Yeah, they're going to say Finn Moore iced it. Very close, though. Likashwa to dig in, number 58 in black. And getting thrown out of the circle is Murphy. He calls for it now. Baser is there, top line back out there for FAU, and it's stolen away. 2-on-1 develops. Likashwa, backhand, and Bruno stopped it. I don't know if he got a clean shot off for Test from the point. Bounces it off the stanchion end boards. Michael McCoy Pursued by Murphy. Likashwa has 2 men on him. Tries to free it up. Likashwa smartly gets it back up to the blue line for Horowitz, and McCoy can't tip a shot. That's into the paraphernalia of Bruno. 2:48 to go in this second period. 26-2 the shots in favor of Florida. Tells you a bit of the story. It's been mostly Florida possessing the puck. The last 10 minutes or so, though, have been honest for both goaltenders. Zach Shield and FAU, their only power play foiled. And we'll get a draw to the left of Bruno. And now Aaron Lentz, a little confused, gets thrown out of the circle. He's replaced by Georgiano. Aiden wants to get it ahead. Lentz was trapped by Ronnie Kemley. Vasiliev gets it free from Hove and allows Ziemba to backhand it out to open ice. And they tie up. They almost crash into each other. Look out, blowing a tire is Ronnie Kemley, and the Owls need to hurry. They can get onside. Kuchia, they do. It's stolen by Ho. Kemley is there. Gets around one defender. Last man to beat, Ziemba. And a great defensive play to sprawl and make a defensive stand. Kuchia. Ho. Florida doing a great job causing turnovers. They get it in front, and Bruno sees that, sticks it to the near boards. Calabrese backs up. Wants it in the middle. Brian Pine. Back up top. Carried on net. Mahan wanted to get a shot towards the goal. Looking for a redirection. Georgiano steals it. He's got a man ahead with Aaron Lentz. Georgiano to the net. Missed it wide off the Celsius logo. Oliverio is there. And what do we got here? Could be a penalty coming up on FAU here. Too many men. That's the second too many men penalty on FAU in this game. And the second of this period. Not what you want to see. That was Georgiano's shot that banked well past the left post. It came all the way in front to the FAU bench where Oliverio touched it. And that was happening as FAU was making line changes. So it's a little unfortunate just out of, as a player, that's a little hard to judge because you don't know. You see the puck, you want to play it. You think everybody's gotten off the ice at the right time. Regardless, Georgiano is going to have to serve it. Horowitz to the net and through a screen. Bruno stops that one. And if FAU goes down 4-1 in this game, it's a dream for Frank Pasquale in this UF group. They won last year's game between these teams 4-1 in the regular season finale before Nationals. They were a men's 1 program at the time, and now they are both men's 2 once again. In front, trying to feed on the weak side, McCoy, and it was defended well by Oliverio. Horowitz has it. Pepe defends. Racing up ice for Tess. McCoy onside. Katz in the middle. And they get free. Stabile can't do it. They post up for Tess has it. Wants Horowitz. Pepe. Good kill, but can't get it out. Oliverio has space, and now he will send it the length of the ice. 35 to go in the period. 1 minute in the power play. So similar situation to the end of the first. Roughly 30 seconds separating game clock and power play time. Likashwa loses the puck. Got it back. Biller's there to chase it. McCoy is in there. Lost his footing, got back into the play. Great kill from Oliverio here. Second time he clears at the length of the ice. Zach Shield way out of the net. Almost had it stolen by Jake Murphy. Calling for it on the far wing. They've got 2 seconds. One more shot towards Bruno. Misses. And that is all for 40 minutes. But Florida extends their advantage. Started up by Noah Horowitz on a one-timer. Jake Murphy answered shortly after. And then less than a minute later, Michael Katz beats Rocco Bruno with some help from Liam Likishwa. 27-12 the shots. We will come back with you in 15-minute time for the end of this one. These rivals, Florida and FAU, looking to finish out their weekend series here at Baptist Health IcePlex. Welcome you back for the start of the third period between Florida Atlantic and Florida. I almost said FAU twice there. It is a 3-1 Florida lead at the end of 40 minutes. They have been capitalizing on their chances, outshooting this FAU team 27-12, and behind some impressive efforts by 3 different goal scorers in this game, including Ronnie Kemley, Noah Horowitz, and most recently Michael Katz, who pounced on a FAU turnover at the red line. They have been playing well enough to keep this one at a stretched lead. The only goal by FAU was from Jake Murphy for his 5th of the weekend on a Brady Baser assist. Also getting a secondary was Finn Moore, who now has a goal and assist this weekend. But the bottom line has been Florida's taken advantage of some FAU turnovers, especially in their own end. Rocco Bruno has been solid. And when you consider that FAU took a couple of too many men penalties in that second period, they are still on the penalty kill as well entering this frame. They just have not generated enough offensive traction and sustained forecheck for them to get shots, quality shots, on goaltender Noah Shield. And credit to him, who's stopped 11 of 12 in this one, and some of them have been pretty good. So if you want another bottom line, high quality chances for FAU, but not a lot of shots. Meanwhile, Florida's gained a lot of traffic in the offensive zone and kept Rocco Bruno honest. So here we go. Florida goes from left to right in their black sweaters. FAU in the red buckets and white sweaters from right to left at Baptist Health IcePlex in Fort Lauderdale. The final game of this 3-game weekend for your Owls. UF had a day off in between Friday and Sunday. Fortesk has been solid. This has been the line that's produced for Florida tonight. Michael Katz, number 2. Bank pass, Horowitz off the boards for Fortesk. And what they've done a great job, this group has, is being physical. Michael Katz behind the goal. Fortesk directs this puck from right side of the offensive zone to the left. Katz crosses field. Defensively, FAU on the penalty kill. Georgiano out of the box, races to the bench. 0 for 4 now is Florida in this game, 0 for 3. Off the stanchion glass, dumped in, and over the head, Liam Likishwa has it. Owls try to close the wall. Good job doing it, Blaise Pepe. They wanted to stretch it for Murphy and Baser and got a little bit ahead of themselves. McCoy gets knocked off the puck by Baser, but he has help on the back end with Owen Wayvada. You'll hear from Michael Katz as well that an opportune goal had no secondary assists, unfortunately for Liam Likishwa, who kind of deserved it because he created that forwarding pass on the inopportune turnover by the Owls. Now Florida tries to stretch it over the red line, and Campagne catches it for the icing, so we'll get a face-off draw by Zach Shields. And coming up for these Owls, reminder, they will have Miami, an M3 team, next week from Boca Ice. That will be, one game from Boca Ice on the 26th, so Friday. And then they will travel to Kendall Ice Arena to take on that Miami team in their barn. Miami, of course, played the M3 team last week. Fell 5-4 in overtime. Another comeback victory, which saw Drew Renzi the hero in that one. Owls and Catone back with it and nearly given up to Nicholas Ho in hot pursuit. On this near side, it's carried by Watson. Wanted Keenan, gave it back to him. Now Biller, some quick passes, and another offside for Ronan Keenan. Boy, he is a tall guy, almost 6'4" in stature. You see him at number 93, but he has been offside a couple of times on this top group's rushes, or rather, this is the second group out here. And he's played at times with Baser and Jake Murphy, and they're still figuring out things there, you can tell, but it's just been things like that. They're just not as clean for the Owls. They're typically a great team getting on the breakouts and clean zone entries, but it just has not been there for them today. Now we have a penalty coming up here on Florida as Declan Catone gets knocked to the ice. And the FAU faithful come alive. It's a roughing call against number 35. I apologize to you, Gator fans. This is Cormac Terry on my roster. I believe there's 3 different numbers, 35 here. It says Mahan on the back of the jersey, but regardless, FAU is to their second power play of the night. They're 0 for 1 on the interference penalty with Florida in the second period. And you get a sense they kind of need one here. Ronan Keenan sets up perfectly Leon Biller, and a better stop by Shields. Off the quick draw, FAU has done a great job getting quick shots on Shield and open shooting lanes from these faceoffs. That one is won by Florida. And Zomansky switches places with Wavada. Pine wants to dig it out. He's got 3 sweaters. Jake Murphy and Biller come in there. Now help with Keenan. They free it up to the point where Oliverio looks for Baser on the left side. Baser gives it deeper for the captain Biller. They'll cycle it from low to high. Out of the far wing, trying to cut it in the middle. Pine intercepted that attempt. Baser has it though. They'll get it deeper to the near corner. Oliverio looks up. Baser, quick passes from the right side. Murphy towards the net, and he missed it wide. Biller directs the play. Zelmansky can't steal it away. Keenan up near the corner for Baser. Now Biller, one more time to the high slot. Baser feeds Murphy, right side chance. Sealing the post was Shield, and Baser can't catch this puck up in time, and it's out of the zone. So first penalty kill group off, 35 to go in the power play. Baser, the speedster, button hooks, goes back up top. He'll get it deeper to the end boards where Keenan forks it to Jake Murphy. Oliverio wants Murphy. He's got 5 goals this weekend. Murphy does. Biller sandwiched with 2 Florida players in his face, and they're going to say a hand pass. Puck will come out of the zone. The Owls get fresh line changes. 14 to go in the power play on that Cormac Terry penalty, number 35. FAU unsure of their personnel for just a moment. Now they get it figured out. Stabile banks it off the Avis logo. Behind the boards. 5 seconds left. They can't hold the line, and that's going to do it. 0 for 2 go to the Owls on their man advantages tonight. Terry will skate back to the bench in a hurry. Likishwa. Pressed by Campagne. Tove. And getting it free is Florida. Look out. Own deflection almost by Catone. Gators set up, or wanted to. Likishwa got pursued. Tove can't get it free. Shot from the point, seen all the way by Bruno. And in his glove, he'll cause another stoppage. Number 89, Michael McCoy, a winger out of Lighthouse Point, Florida. One of the starting wingers for this Gator group. We talked about experience earlier in the broadcast for this Florida group. He is perhaps one of the best wingers in all of college hockey south. He's a former national champion and had 23 points last year. Here's Fortesk on the left side in front. Bruno, stick that aside. Aaron Lentz. Florida back to their forecheck. Fortesk with an open lane, and he sailed it way high. Nicholas Hull over there, intercepted by Georgiano. He's got help in the middle now coming with Cuccia. The 2 youngsters, toe drags through his legs. Fortesk and Cuccia slammed the wrong guy. The puck's on the far side with the alternate captain, Horwitz. Liam Denny over the line. Banks it off the end board and gives it right back. Florida is changing, and that was why he was all alone. Fortesk comes out. Campagne can't free it up. Edwards to the net. Low pad stop, and Bruno sees it under himself. And another Florida possession where they have sustained forecheck time and very patient with the puck. You can tell that they are trying to get Rocco to move or at least screen his eyes. And for the most part, Florida Atlantic's done a good job blocking shots in front of him. But when they don't, it leaves Bruno alone to take these pucks. And of course, he's one of the best. He can do that as good as anybody. But being that he is a shorter goaltender, it makes it difficult when you have people in front of him. Aaron Lentz over here. Brendan Pine is with him. As Edwards over the line. Takes a shot in and out of the pads of Bruno, and that'll cause a whistle. 14-17 to go in this third period. I apologize if you hear any background noise. It's a packed house here in Baptist Health IcePlex for this game today. As Likishwa comes in to take the draw. Michael Katz and Finn Moore behind the goal. Likishwa and Murphy to play it. Moore does a good job keeping the play from coming in front. A shot from the point. Blockered aside by Bruno. And they can't get it out of the zone again. Good job by Florida holding it in. They want to free it up. Man on the left side. Bruno way out to challenge. And he gets another save on a lone shooter. 32-14 are the shots in favor of Florida in this game. They have been simply terrific with 13:50 to go. It looks like a total 180 of the team that we saw on Friday, which looked very demoralized at the start of the third when Florida scored within the first minutes. And at the time, that was the first ACHA goal for number 2, Finn Moore, who's wearing a temporary number in this series. Face off to the right of Bruno. Bucci Gross. Oh my gosh, I just said that was Finn Moore. Wearing a whole jersey. And this one is Ronan Keenan trying to stretch it for Leon Biller. And again, they just get ahead of the play. It allows a free man to the net. And Bruno made the stop. Another terrific one. Florida Atlantic trying to be aggressive and get their forecheck started, but it leads to opportunities like that. And McCoy fans on a wide open shot. Back up top. This is Calabrese with it. Cross-ice feed! That was a beautiful one. And that one just went wide off of Likishwa's stick. It's a race for it back to their own trapezoid. And it's iced just barely. Love the effort there from Sam Watson. But he will have to come all the way back. 33-14 the shots. If you're just tuning in, this was Florida up 2-0 in the first period from first goal in the first, Ronnie Kemley, the only goal in that game off a tip shot from the point. Followed up early in the second by Noah Horowitz on a one-timer blast. And then Jake Murphy answered shortly after, but less than a minute later, Michael Katz as another icing is called against FAU, and they cannot change. UF quickly fizzled out any momentum that FAU garnered off that Jake Murphy goal. And they have played a systematic style of hockey. They have been solid defensively. They have separated FAU's players from the puck. Talking about physicality there. And they've simply done a good job managing this one. They have not allowed Florida to get on fast breaks. Florida Atlantic to get on fast breaks, and that has led to this 3-1 score where this opportune Gator group has controlled. Ronan Keenan flies over the blue line. Watson is there with him. From the near blue line, Nicholas Ho possesses Seafeld's all over him. In front of the net, Stabile wanted to race on that puck. Catone can't control. This is Tove preventing a odd man rush developing for the Gators. A host of bodies on the far side of the ice. Campagne is there. Former men's 3 captain last year, back with this squad. He missed the game yesterday, back in the lineup. Campagne, as Sabile will dump and chase. Gets help on that far wing. A tie-up. That's Tove over there. Zelmansky in 5 in black. And again, it's the Gators who do a good job with support on the half-boards. Falling to the ice in a heap. That's Ronnie Kemley, opening goal scorer of this game. Zach Shields directs the puck on the near boards. Brendan Pine has a burst of speed. He's all alone. They're changing. Blocker stopped by Bruno. Seefeld for the Owls. Georgiano taking off the puck. Edwards is there. Fishes it up to Fortesk. Takes a look to the net, intentionally wide off the end boards. Setting up Pine and Edwards for Fortesk. Now on the left side, Horowitz has one goal tonight. Gets around one man trying to set up Pine near the goal. Bruno ready for it. Made the left pad stop. Fortesk now resets at the blue line. Horowitz to the net, and that one is into the pads of Bruno. And we'll get a whistle. And it's plays like that. They win a tie-up in their own zone. They race with it up the wing. They get more players to the strong side, and they just get more bodies to set up a sustained forecheck, and then they move the puck well. And it's a well-coached group. Frank Pasquale has been doing this for a long time. Originally from the New Jersey area, moved in 1993. He had some experience in juniors, Junior A, a couple of other leagues, and then moved to South Florida in 2011, sometime around there, and has been a terrific coach for this Florida group. And I think that's right. So, Frank, if you're listening back on this, be sure to shoot me a message if I'm wrong. Fortesk, Undercats, and it's way out of the zone. I could be thinking also of another coach in College Hockey South. Here's an icing on the Owls. 10:28 to go in this third period. 35-13. FAU only has 2 shots on goal halfway through the third period. They had 6 each in that first and second, and then UF stormed out with 17 shots in the second for 2 goals. Bruno is approaching the save mark he made last night. Friday had a 42 save shutout against this Florida team. Catching up to it, here's Cuccia. And Georgiano comes in to help him. Christian Long putting those former M3 guys together. And it's stolen away. They throw it out to the middle of the slot and nobody's home. It's an odd sight to see. That line has really not gotten going this weekend. Nick Oliverio helps it over. Lentz in the middle. Likishwa knocks a puck down. He'll pursue it. Get it out of the zone. Baser frees it up from him, and Catone is there to provide support. Both teams are changing. This is Blaze Pepe back on, the freshman. And Shield will do just that behind his own goal. Nicholas Ho. As Pepe has Ho all over him. Florida's got a fresh line out there. Jake Murphy onside with Baser. They get a clean zone entry. Then comes Murphy, takes a lap with it wide, calling for it. Turnaround, tried to set up Baser, and he missed him. The only goal of this game for FAU came from Jake Murphy. Here's a shot off the mask. A second try, just wide. Ho with the follow-up shot that Bruno saved. Calabrese in number 9 for Black. Back with it. Saucers it for what I believe is Cormac Terry. Catone in front of the scorer's table. Murphy ahead for Baser. Gets around one man. Has Pepe on the opposite wing. Murphy is there. Wants a turnaround shot. Got blocked in front by Nicholas Ho. Pepe in front, bouncing puck out of the air. Turnaround try by Baser as he gets knocked to the ice. And there's a penalty coming up here. And it's against FAU. Brady Baser. Let's see the call. They're going to get Baser for a cross-checking. Inopportune time to take that one. Owls have held Florida scoreless on the power play this weekend. 0 for 9. But as time dwindles down in this, you can't put yourself in a man-down situation too many times, as we have 8:24 left. 36-14 are the shots in favor of the Gators. Another crucial call coming up. If there's any silver lining right now, it's just that they've killed off these penalties they've taken masterfully. They've had too many men on 2 separate occasions, separating a roughing call in the first by Oliverio. And Biller gets kicked out of the circle. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. Jake Murphy loses the draw to Likashwa. Up to the point for the alternate captain, Horowitz, for Tesk. These two have been touching it a lot in this one towards the net. Likashwa can't redirect after it went off the end boards. Oliverio up and out with help from Biller. So Shields sees him coming in, dangles him in his own crease. It's a delight of a Florida crowd in front of our PA stand. Horowitz for Tesk. Cross ice feed from McCoy connects. Horowitz and the Gators are offside, and that's called as Michael Katz stayed in the zone. And if you're Frank Pasquale in this Gator group, they have a very important series coming up with South Carolina. They will travel to Irmo for 2 games from the 26th to 28th in September, and then, to my knowledge, they don't have a game in between until Tampa on October the 24th and 25th. As Murphy knocks him into the ice, that's McCoy. They get back on side, however, for the power play. Up to the point for Horowitz. Left side, Michael Katz leaps it back for him. Thinks about a shot. Went off his own man, McCoy. Pepe with a slap shot trying to get it out of the zone. Slap clear, unsuccessful for Tesk. With a man right on the weak side, Katz, and it's too strong for him. Gets it back now for Tesk. Defended well by Thander. Oliverio pushes a man. A great low pad stop as Katz bear down on Bruno. Horowitz to the net, missed the goal wide. And it's out of the zone on the clear by FAU's Jake Murphy. 20 seconds to go in the cross-checking penalty to Brady Baser. Horowitz will send it to the opposite corner. Ziemba gets moved around. Murphy finishes his check as McCoy reverses field from Katz, who got it on this wing, far wing. One more time for Tesk off the deflected skate. Horowitz thinks about it, drives, a great stop by Bruno! That might be his best, as Michael Katz really had a wide open back door. Penalty is over. Brady Baser with speed, trying to get inside the defense. Losing his stick is Michael McCoy. Baser with a heap in out of the box. 6 minutes to go in this game, and Florida is looking to hold on. They are now 0 for 4 on power plays tonight and 0 for 10 on the weekend. Biller gets it free from Pine. Has help there with the sophomore Ronan Keenan. Nice move. Sam Watson, he just puts it between his legs, not on his stick. Horowitz. Florida quickly trying to reverse field. Nicholas Hull's got a burst of speed. He's got 2 men to get around, and he does. Gets it up top where it's moving in. Kemley. Ronnie moves it to Wayvada. D to D they go. Wanted to put one on net. It went off the skates of Seafelt, and that pushed it out of the zone as FAU gets wholesale changes. Into the legs of Pine. Outside he races. Has men set up now in the middle. Defended well by Stabile. Gets it free over there with Daniel Tove. Pine once again Cuts to the middle, gets it for Wavada. Too much strong on it for the pass in front. Kemley behind the goal, flips it. Stabile directs it. Tove finishes a check. Catone comes in to help. Now James Maisie wants to free it up, and he does. Wavada from the point. Near half boards, they'll move it. In the middle, nobody home except the white sweater, and Seefeld gets Tove with a tagging drop pass. Over the line, Seefeld with a shot put wide. And Stabile all the way back with Finn Moore. Out of the neutral zone, can FAU, as time winds down, think about pulling Bruno here? There's 4:15 to go in the period. They're trying to avoid the too many men penalty, and they've got him in all alone. Pye to the net. Glove stop by Bruno. He's had a couple of dandies in this third period. One on the power play from Michael Katz, and now he robs Pine of sealing the deal here. Shots are 39-14 in favor of Florida with 4:06 to go in the game. Far wing Likashwa gets a face-off win. Stolen away, Brady Baser. He's got a break. Man in the middle dropping. Well defended there. Great job boxing him out. Calabrese. FAU, who has not been able to set up a forecheck well at all this period, turns it over again. 3-on-2 develops. They've got a couple of guys. McCoy looking for Katz, never gets it to him. Moore defended him well. The opposing two, Katz, tried to get it back to McCoy, and it was a hot pursuing Jake Murphy who forced it all the way to the opposite end. Calabrese defends him. Terry has it. Moves it along the near boards. They're going to play defensive hockey to hold on as the time winds down. Rocco Bruno still in on net to your right. I will let you know when he goes, if he does. Calabrese, Georgiano stops the motion of the puck. Likashwa, who tried to, dumps it all the way to Buccigross, and that allows Florida to change their lines. Third line back out there for the Owls. Georgiano with Aaron Lentz. Christian Cuccia in hand. Catone at the Panthers logo. Will dump it in. Black sweater there first, Calabrese. Owls. Quick change, Georgiano replaced by the captain, Biller. 2:42 to go on the score clock. Shot blocked down from one leg, Biller. Carries with it over the line. Aaron Lentz can't find it. Florida again sends it back. Aaron Lentz give it back to the Florida defense for Tesk, for Horwitz. This is the top group back out here. Keenan strips it away. Biller, as they'll tie up in that far corner. Now it's free. Wanted to get it to Cuccia, sailed it over his head. Up top to the point it goes. Florida can't force it out of the zone. Ronan Keenan wanted to step into one. Edwards got all in his body. Murphy stole it away. He's got Biller in the middle. Thinks about the shot. Saved by Shields off the shoulder. And Florida banks it off the glass and out of the zone as Campagne can't hold the line. 1:42 to go in this game. 3-1 Florida. Murphy over the red line. Bruno still in net to our right. As taken now and controlled over the line, the lone skater, Ronnie Kemley, will dump it in. And if you're going to pull Bruno, this might be the time now. Here's Ronan Keenan. And it's into the netting behind the SeatGeek logo in this near corner. With 1:15 to go in this game, FAU with a wholesale change. And Bruno is still in our net to our right. Christian Long has not motioned to take him out yet. And a timeout is called by Christian Long and his group. Let's give you a brief game recap of this one. Started off late in the first period. Ronnie Kemley had a tip shot in the low slot past Bruno with secondary assists by Fortesk and Denny. Florida controlled the pace of play in this game early, and they were rewarded for it, despite being 0 for 1 in the power play at the end of the period. We went into the second frame early, still without a power play goal, Florida. But then they answered off of a turnover by the Owls, a one-timer set up beautifully for Florida by Liam Likishwa to Noah Horowitz, who slapped it home past Bruno's shoulders, and then Jake Murphy answered a minute and a half later from Brady Baser and Finn Moore. But less than a minute later, it was Florida again, this time by Michael Katz on a nice play set up by Likishwa at the scorer's stand, alone to the net. And that is where we sit, 1:15 to go. Bruno is now headed to the bench to our right. So we'll get 6 skaters on 5 here. It'll be Keenan to dig in for the draw. Oliverio's out there at the point. They have Baser and Jake Murphy to the right. And with the extra skater out there, Finn Moore. So Baser trying to fish this puck out. 3 Owl bodies. Get it free! Murphy Finn on a one-timer. Oliverio tries to chase it back in. Forwarding pass! Loose in the slot area, and Shield is down, and he's got it. With some more pushing, more shoving, Brady Baser. John over there with James Mazie. And now Keenan gets involved, and they'll all skate away. 55.9 on the game clock. And this Owl group, very uncharacteristic period for them. They only have 5 shots in total. And before that, they only had 2 shots, 14 minutes through the period. It's been all Florida in the second half. Nearly a total reversal of what we had on Friday night. So we'll redo the draw to the left of Zach Shields. Owls win it. Skying it over the far corner. Blaze Pepe up to the point. Murphy with a shot, well wide. 44 to go on the clock. Finn Moore trying to help out behind the goal. Murphy to dig in there. Now they're going to get 3 Owl bodies in that far corner to dig it out. Still not free. Florida doing a masterful job to clear it out down the length of the ice. It's a race for it. Oliverio's going to win, but the icing gets waved off. 24 seconds to go. Florida on their way to splitting this series. Oliverio cross ice for Baser. One last rush over the line. Low pad stop. The rebound. Free up in the blue paint. One more shot by Oliverio. And Florida clears the zone. And Frank Pasquale is going to ice this puck. His group with Wavada, Michael Katz on the ice. Denny, a masterful job in front. Zach Shield comes up big. His best stops of the contest. And barring a miracle here, this one is going to be a series that ends 1 apiece. Face-off won by the Owls. Oliverio can't possess it quick enough, and time will run out. Florida with 3 different goal scorers in this game answer the bell. They win this one 3-1 and smother Zach Shield in net. And this Gainesville crowd that traveled well will head back there with a win over their rivals from South Florida. Final shots in this one, 39-19 in favor of Florida. And goals tonight by Ronnie Kemley to start things off, followed up by Noah Horowitz. Also on the assist, Liam Likishwa, Michael Katz. And Katz finishes with a goal and an assist to his name. Jake Murphy and Brady Baser both add more points. Baser 5 points or goals on the weekend. And Baser with another effort where he finishes with points. That's 3 straight, but it's not enough as the Owls finish 2-1 on the weekend. Wins over Florida on Friday night. Georgia Tech yesterday. They fall in this one from Baptist Health IcePlex in Fort Lauderdale. So, riding solo. I think we've told the story of this one well. Frank Pasquale happy with his group. They will take on next South Carolina, September 26th through 28th. And your Florida Atlantic Owls will take on Miami M3 next week for a home-and-home series. So for our entire production crew, our producer, Mitch Liswith, his great staff here at Owl TV, my name is Devin Serra, and we thank you for watching this presentation of FAU Men's 2 Hockey. Final score tonight, Florida Gators take the win 3 over the Florida Atlantic Owls 1. Thanks for watching, and have a great night, everyone.
Big difference.